Blast me to Bermuda! It's episode 7 of Mad Merlin's Warhammer 40,000 Imperium journey. Hello and welcome back to my Imperium journey. I'm Merlin and here we are with issue 7. So issue 7 is going to be a quick issue to go through as there isn't a lot at the moment. What we do get though is 3 brand new paints to add to our paint collection. So we have a base paint Mechanicus Standard Grey, the base paint Retributor Armour, and the base paint Corax White. If any of you paint white armies, you will have no idea how good Corax White actually is for getting a good solid white base. But on with the issue. So here we have issue 7. As I've just said, the contents of this issue is 3 paints. We learn about the Era Indomitus. We follow a detailed paint guide and we battle with our new painted models. So within this issue we get 2 new pieces of background for the Ultramarines, the names and titles list, and for the Necrons, the names and titles list. We get some lore information on the Era Indomitus. We add more details to our Space Marines in our painting guide. And then we have a short mission playthrough. Just adjust. That's better. So up until now, we've only been using small D6 tables for our character names. In issue 7, we get 2 brand new sheets, which will be used to give names to our future squads. So to save space on the data sheets, there will be no more tables. We do have the D66 list. So a D66 is where you roll 2 6-sided dice. Your first one will be for the 10s. So in this case, 1. So we got 11 through to 16. So now let's find out what our unit is. 6. So our first name is Cato. To find out the character's second name, we go 3. So we are looking at 31 to 36. And 4. So we've got 34 and the second name, Etruscus. So Cato Etruscus would be our Space Marine title. Gives a little bit of detail about Space Marine names as well as 3 famous names. My name is Calgar, Cato Sicarius, and Varro Tigurius. If you've seen my Instagram, you'll know I have Varro Tigurius, and I will be utilizing him in space of the Phobos Librarian whenever I can. On the reverse page, we have hero title table, and we also have an honorifics title. These use D33s, much like the D66. You roll 1 for the 10s and 1 for the units. So for an example, we've got 1, that would be for 3. 16, it's 13. So we have Knight and 22, Knight of Ajax. I believe that is also the name of my Primaris Lieutenant anyway, the honorific. But that's it for the Ultramarine ones. The Necron ones are a little different. So we have the bequeathed name, obviously the name Necron Noble would have had in his previous life, and we have his title. So for example, on the D66, I'm going to roll a 1 and a 5 for 15, so Anotech, and he is 53. So Anotech the Unending. Ooh, very impressive name. A little bit more information about Necron Nobles. So Necron Nobles place great importance in names and reputation, often taking grand titles that reinforce their status, wealth, and martial might. Necron names are the most powerful Necron Pharaons and Overlords, such as Imhotep the Stormlord and Trazan the Infinite. inspire fear in the names. Most lower-ranking Necrons also retain names and titles, save for Necron warriors who no longer possess memories or freedom of will. And again on the back we have an epithets and a unit name for Necrons. So we can easily rename all our Necron units using this table here. Our newest piece of background lore is all about the era Indomitus, which is the era in which the returned Primarch Rabute Guilliman makes a pilgrimage to Terra to commune with his father and find out what the plan is going forward into the 42nd millennium. So with the Imperium split in two, it's now harder for the Imperium's worlds to know what's going on. The light of the Astronomicon has all but snuffed it. And now Rabute Guilliman is leading the Indomitus Crusade out from Terra to reclaim the galaxy, much as his father did back in the days of the Great Crusade. So parts of the Imperium, we have the Imperial War Machine, made up of many factions who each possess grand armies. Whilst these factions often have vastly different objectives and motivations, the Indomitus Crusade has forced them to work together. Crusade fleets, which are made up of fighting forces from the many different Imperial factions. Their task is to venture out and secure those territories deemed essential to the survival of the Imperium. And we have a little bit about the title of Lord Commander, which Rabute Guilliman has, along with many of his other titles, the Avenging Sun, the Returned Primarch. So, after venturing to Terra and communing with the Emperor of Mankind, Rabute Guilliman took the title of Lord Commander of the Imperium, an ancient title that has only been borne by a few warriors in the Imperium's long history. A Lord Commander has supreme authority over the Imperial armed forces and serves as the chairman of the ruling Sanatorum Imperialis. I'm guessing he didn't want to take his brother's title of War Master, because we all know how that went out the last time a Primarch had the title of War Master. So, as I've already painted up most of my models, we'll just have a quick flick through on how to paint the details on the Space Marines. So, quick reminders about filling your paints, getting a point to your brush, and rotating your model. For those who have already got a paint handle, one of those will be a lot easier than holding by the model's base. We will be getting a paint handle in a future subscription gift, so that will come in very handy. So our first paint to apply is Corax White, which we are painting over the assault markings and the chapter markings on the assault intercessors, as well as painting onto any stones and rocks on the bases of our models. For our captain and lieutenant, we'll be painting in the areas of flesh, again, stones, any skulls, the inside of the cape, as well as his left knee for where his blue chapter badge will go. And we are also painting the storm shield, as well as the stripe on the lieutenant's helmet. Also, any Necron skulls you want to paint Rune or Brass, or in my case, Lead Belcher. So here on the lieutenant we see he's painted the full storm shield, which we'll be painting over again slightly more detail in our next paint, which is Retributor armor. So this is going to be, if you are painting second company for the shoulder pad rims, I'll be painting mine red for third company. I can show you an example assault intercessor I have painted up previously here. Just burnt a map already. So that's how my guys are going to look. But we're painting the Aquila on the front as well, the pommel on the chainsword, as well as the Indomitus icon on the left gauntlet. For the aggressors, it'll be again the shoulder pad rim and the chest eagle. We've also got all the various reliquaries hanging down from the belts, as well as the flamer nozzle on the gauntlets. On to the captain, we've got the Iron Halo, the grip and crossguard of his sword, again his shoulder pads chest eagle, the Terminatus icon, the skull on his gauntlets, and of course the gold detailing on his scabbard. And finally, we're looking at the lieutenant. As I mentioned earlier, we're repainting the icon and the edging on the storm shield with gold, painting his iron halo, shoulder pad rims, aquila, pommel of his sword, any icons hanging from his belt, painting the skull and the edging on his knee, and of course any detail on the scabbard. And there we have it. That's our paint guide. I'll just quickly set up the game mat for action. So here we have our battle mat all ready and set up. We have 3 Necron warriors on markers A and B, and 1 in the center. A little bit off camera, we have 1 Ultramarine in the top corner, 1 in the bottom, and we have a single objective. That's a little bit better. So, Necron Resurgence. The Space Marine forces trapped within the depths of the Necron base in Megaria have begun to turn the tide of the battle in their favor. Yet, deep within the cold heart of the Obsidian Tomb, something awakens, stirring the Necron defenders to action. A guiding hand. The Necrons march forth with renewed vigor, fighting with greater precision and in tighter formation, as if guided by an unseen hand. Mission briefing. Emergency command protocols flood the android brains of a trio of Necron warriors. A voice calls from the shadows, urging them to secure the Necron facility's inner sanctum. The Space Marines must not be able to breach the stasis chamber of the Necron nobility. Necrons. The nobility awaken. Deep within the Necron base, the stasis chambers of the Necron nobility have sprung to life. Command protocols are sending awakened Necron warriors to secure their chambers and protect their masters. Space Marines. Hunters in the darkness. As the Necron facility continues to flicker to life, around them, the assault intercessors hunt their foes in the darkness. All the foul Xenos must be destroyed. So, that's the background for our mission. Before we go any further, we have a few new rules. We're learning about strength and toughness on a model, as well as strength on a weapon. These have various effects and can be improved throughout the game. So in our example, Space Marines have strength and toughness of 4. Necron warriors are only programmed to secure the facility, so they're not going to be engaging any Space Marines, and only have a toughness value, which is 4. The Space Marines Heavy Bolt Pistol, which is now reloaded, has a strength value of 4 with a -1 on the AP. Necron Gauss Flares are a strength 4 with a -1 on the AP. When it comes to wounding, we go by strength and toughness values. So if the strength is twice the toughness, it's 2+ to wound. If the strength is greater than the toughness, it's a 3+ to wound. Equal to the toughness, a 4+, lower than the toughness, a 5+, and half or less of the toughness, then it's a 6+. So a Space Marine of strength 4 hitting a Necron on toughness 4 would require a 4+ to wound. So Space Marines get the first turn. So let's move this out of the way. Lose my dice. And re-extend. So the Space Marine is sitting quite far on the outside of the table. We want to get him up close. So for this mission, we're going to get them up close and personal as quickly as possible. So for our first turn, we will make sure we advance. So the first Space Marine Assault Intercessor isn't going very far. So he has a movement of 6 and a 1 to his advance, which gives him 7. Our second Assault Intercessor, not much quicker, a 2, giving him a total of 8. So now it's the Necron's turn. So with our command protocols being given, the Necrons are only going to be focusing on the Space Marines as a ranged threat. They won't be getting up close and personal. They do, however, want to reach the objective, which will block any Space Marine reinforcements coming in. So again, we are going to move up. So Necron Warriors move 5. And now we're going to shoot. So each Necron Warrior within range. So none are within half range to get rapid fire. So each Necron Warrior will have a single shot. So these two are going to hit this Space Marine. 1 misses. 1 hits, so a Strength 4 gun on a Toughness 4 Space Marine needs a 4 to wound. No wounds. And our last Necron Warrior fails to hit the target. Now back to the Space Marine's turn. So they're going to definitely be in range this time. So let's see, 12, 14 inches. So I can fire shots on my heavy bolt pistols. So heavy bolt pistols have a single shot. So he'll shoot his target. First, he's going to make sure he moves up, ready to close for the assault. So move up. This Space Marine here will also move up. So now we will move on to shooting. So we'll shoot our bolt pistol into the Necron Warrior, needing a 3 to hit, and we score a hit. And it's Strength 4, Tough 4, so 4's to wound. Oh dear, no wound. Let's hope our second Assault Intercessor can do better. Hits on a 3, so need a 4+ to wound, and we wound. So remember I said about heavy bolt pistols having a -1 on the AP? That means a Necron's normal save value of 4 goes down to a 5. So can our Necron survive? No, he can't. Necrons only have a single wound, so 1 is removed from the table. Okay, this Space Marine has lost his target. And can't make a charge because his target is no longer on the field. So the one Assault Intercessor that can charge needs an 8+ on 2 dice, and he gets it. He moves within engagement range, and Assault Intercessors are fearsome fighters and get 2 attacks each. So we're needing a 3+ to hit, 2 hits, and Strength 4 against Toughness 4, so 4's to wound. 1 wound. Chainswords also have a -1 on AP, so the Necron Warrior needs a 5 to save. And he doesn't. 2 Necrons down and 1 to go. It's now the Necron's turn. So I think we're going to move towards the objective a little bit more. But we're also going to turn our attention to the Space Marine back here. Try and shoot him off the table. So we are now within the 12-inch range for rapid fire, so we get an extra shot. Needing freeze. Oh dear. 2 and a 1 will not cut it. Back to the Space Marine's turn. This Assault Intercessor will just turn around. This one will close the gap. Both will shoot. First one, hitting, and wounding. 5 plus save. Nope, he's been eliminated. So there we have it. The Space Marines have won and pushed the Necrons back into the chambers. So we could probably play a little bit differently. We could focus the Necrons more on advancing and getting across the table and getting to the objective. Or we could, like we did, gang up 2 onto one Space Marine. But that's our mission played out for today. Let's move on to what we're getting next time. So there we go. We got a recap on moving, and we learned all about strength and toughness. So moving on to our next issues of Imperium. We have issue 8, the Necron Overlord. Learning to paint our Necrons and do battle on the tabletop. On issues 9 and 10, we have 10 Necron Warriors and 3 Canoptic Scarab Swarms. There'll be 2 Scarab Swarms and 4 Warriors in one issue, and 6 Warriors and 1 Scarab Swarm in the other issue. So, if you haven't already, signed up at Warhammer 40,000 Imperium.com. So, that has been the issue 7 of Warhammer 40,000 Imperium. I'd like to thank you for watching. Please follow me on my social media. Like, comment, share and subscribe. Also, feel free to use my affiliate links for Curton Games, or if you'd like to help the channel out, buy me a coffee. And I'll see you next time for more mad content. Goodbye.